Folks, welcome to the Jake Feinberg Show, one of my favorite stomping grounds here, St. Philip's Plaza, and to see some music tonight. And I got a chance today to speak to a gifted bass player and also somebody who runs the sound here as well. Fabian Rios, welcome to the Jake Feinberg Show.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, it's a pleasure.
Can you talk about an early experience in your life about when sound healed you? I mean, for you to be, setting aside your musicianship, just seeing the certain types of bands that come in here, the way that you take sound so seriously, it must have had a massive impact on you as a child.
100%, yeah. I think one of the first times that I really felt moved by sound was working with just friends in high school. I remember just building songs together and then realizing that there's a technical side of things that I needed to learn about. And then from there, it just grew into a passion for facilitating artists' ability to create and perform their music. That's how I feel about myself, as more of a facilitator and sort of just
a point guard.
Yeah, exactly. Like, wingman. It's just
tradition, dude. What does that mean though? From like keeping the instrumentation, I like the sound. I try to get in front of. I want the nat sound from the stage. I love the vibration from the stage.
I agree.
Everything else is synthetic, but what are you going to do? This is the time we live in.
Right.
What were some of the early work experience? You said work, not you weren't playing music. You were mixing for people.
Well, I was playing in a band in high school, and I was also recording us and all of that. So from there is where I really started getting into the technical side of things. I also worked in church, and sound was a part of church.
Right.
So that's where I got kind of my, my roots as far as the technical side of sound. But the passion came from just really working with musicians, seeing how happy they were to be able to do things easily, And that's where I derive pleasure and the passion from. Yeah.
I did a phone Zoom interview on my podcast yesterday with Al Anderson, who is Marley's guitar player on Natty Dread, and a really heavy dude. He spent his high school years being chased out of the Fillmore West by Billy Graham because he was always giving weed to the musicians. But then there was Johnny Winter and Dwayne Allman sat him down in a trash can outside the Fillmore West and taught him how to play slide guitar. And B.B. King, Albert King rather, he showed up and he had a pouch of tobacco and some beer for him. But the point is, these guys were very kind.
Right.
They were also shamans. Have you had experience with those elders in music?
Yeah, I think.
And what would be like an example of one?
That's a really good question. I think one of my role models and just teachers growing up, his name was Alfredo. He's a killer bass. He still is a killer bass player. Alfredo Insunza is his last name.
He
lives
still
out
with
in
us?
Mexico. Yeah, he's still out.
Yeah, you got to hook me up with him.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Upright or electric?
I learned on electric.
Yeah.
He played electric mainly. Upright I learned in jazz in high school.
Yeah, dig.
But I haven't played upright in a long time.
And we're going to get you back to playing upright.
Yeah,
the bass fiddle's where it's at.
Oh yeah, man.
Ron Carter guy.
Hell yeah.
Swinging so hard, man.
But he really took a few of us under his wing and just taught us everything he could, and it was.
What did he teach you? What stands out to this day? Because to me, it's about the feel.
Yeah, for sure. I think it was just seeing the feel he added and the passion he added to his performances was influential in trying to get for bass specifically. You learn the notes early on, you learn the scales and all of that, but the main part, and to me the more important part about bass is the feel, is the driving the beat and the rhythm, the style, and like I said, the feel is just the technique is a big part of that, and that's where I got most of the technique is from not only watching him but also him explaining it to me, basically spoon feeding me how it should be played. But I mean, a contour of it. It wasn't what note to play. Right, exactly.
Okay, it was like that's where your creative control comes in.
Exactly, 100%. Yeah. No, it's
Steve Swallow. I don't know if you know that bass player. He's incredible. Played with so many cats. Amazing double bass player, but also has really fought for years to get the electric bass accepted in whatever that word jazz means.
Yeah.
Can you talk about how you've been able to bring, in your own way, I don't care if it was 20 years ago, bringing the electric bass into a jazz context?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean,
You know, because I mean, there's a thing about too much language, and then just sort of leaving like space is music too. And I just want you to riff on that.
yeah, no, I get you. There's definitely, like, one of my big philosophies in life is there's got to be a balance, and a lot of times when you're, when you're playing, you might forget that there needs to be a balance of space. In my opinion, perfect songs are a perfect balance between silence and sound, right? And not that there's any perfect songs out there. I think people might have an idea of what their perfect song is, but for me, like, the most fulfilling music is one I can enjoy without really having to dive too deep into what made it sound like that. It's just, oh, here it is, I'm experiencing it. And like you said, space has a lot to do with that, because you can't overload somebody. And as far as when it comes to putting the electric bass into jazz, I think there might be, hardcore purists that think upright bass on jazz, but jazz is one of those genres that is meant to evolve, is meant
That's
to
right.
is meant to
It's a living art form.
exactly. And for me, it's also, in a way, I find like you can definitely get many sounds out of an upright bass, but on an electric bass you can get a little more creative on your pedals or whatever it is, and I think that can add a quality or a specific identity to your music that maybe might not be able to on an upright bass. Upright bass is amazing. I love how it sounds.
You don't have to preface anything.
Yeah.
I mean, the point is that it's different muscles.
Yeah.
I mean, George Porter tried. I've interviewed him. He's a dear friend. I love the man so much, and he didn't have the armature to be able to, the muscles to be able to really. And you got to develop calluses. Talk to the audience about the first time you bled
Oh, okay.
on the upright.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I was. I was used to the electric bass, and I picked up the upright.
How'd you get one, by the way?
First one was a gift from my oldest brother.
What's his name?
His name is Angel Ibarra. He's also one of my greatest
Yeah, Angel.
role model.
He's with us.
Yeah, he's with us.
Good.
Yeah, and he
sick.
taught me guitar initially, and then he bought me a bass, and that's where I started really learning on an electric bass. And in high school, in high school I started teaching. There was this program for a middle school that we, as high schoolers, we went over and taught them in summer.
Like as a elder, so to speak?
Yeah. And they had an extra upright bass, and they lent it to me for a year, so I borrowed it, and that's where I learned. And it actually.
Were you playing like sones, like Mexican, like any kind of folk tunes from your heritage, or are you Jamaican, or are you?
No, I'm Mexican. Yeah.
With the dreads.
Yeah.
Now, there's got to be some Rastafarian.
Maybe, yeah. No, I mean,
That's why Al Anderson
is
connected
mixed,
us right today, man.
Yeah.
Al Anderson is the most. Anyway,
Yeah.
Did you start playing your own folk tunes from your heritage, or were you more like diving into bebop or whatever?
Yeah, it was more of the classic jazz, bebop, your traditional jazz.
Classic jazz.
Yeah. And then as soon as we started getting into more of the Latin stuff, I definitely felt identified with it.
God,
and,
Dad, what are you talking about? Like Cal Jader
Yeah,
shit?
yeah. No, and that's why.
Francisco Agobea. No, I'm sorry, Al McKibben. Sick. Dude, Jader. I was just talking to this cat yesterday in the record store I work at. Willie Bobo and Mongo. When Cal Jader would take them on the road, the owners would hassle Jader. They didn't want to pay a colored musician the same. And Jader was like, we just won't play. We're out of here. And so, it was that Afro-Cuban shit. Now, that's not Mexican.
No, it's still, it's still
but
down
you
there.
have it all, bro. You're in the gumbo, dude.
Yeah, I appreciate
How
it.
blessed are you, man?
Honestly.
How do you tell me why you're grateful right now?
Why I'm grateful?
Because I just think there's a lot of people need to surrender to this time. Like it's a very deep time, and I'm not dismissing it. And I'm trying to give back the way I know how to give back.
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Okay. But like, I just want you to talk about gratitude, man, because
Yeah.
you're in the gumbo, man.
No, I totally agree. I'm very lucky to have been, I guess, born into this like era, and the people that are around me are phenomenal. I'm the most grateful for my network of friends, and just all the support I've gotten over the years. I'm actually really grateful for this place. I had steady work here.
Talk about it.
I've met so many great musicians. As a
Live
matter
music
of fact,
too. Not I mean, there's nobody flipping switches here. I mean, you'll have a DJ once in a while, but I mean, like, the truth is, it's all human beings.
Yeah, and that's the goal.
And I dig, man.
Yeah, so I recently, just this year, took over booking here, and yeah, my goal is to get some really good music out here. There's been great music out here, but I want to expose people to some maybe of the more hidden things that have been going on in Tucson, and that's really the goal, is to get really good musicians that deserve a platform out here, as well as make it.
Everything in Tucson is hidden.
Oh yeah.
It's a desert rock town. It's square, man.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
All right, and like, so let me ask you, how did you cross paths with the Noise Collective?
I met Desmond first.
You met Dez?
Yeah.
Yeah, my hero.
I think I met him playing for Soul Essential, I believe. And
Amy and Eric.
Uh-huh.
Beautiful people.
Yeah. And he mentioned he had another group, and I looked them up, and I was, blown away immediately, because incredible
Top
vocals.
shelf shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Top shelf.
Yeah. So
how come you think the regular cats, and I'm talking world,
yeah,
although Europe and Japan, they're pretty fucking fanatical, why in this country do they miss the hip shit?
That's a really good question. And
no, I'm putting you out. Welcome to the Jake Feinberg show.
Yeah,
All right? I mean, why do they miss the hip shit? Because, like, I'm gonna get healed and bounced out into the intergalactic for days from this.
I have a few theories.
Go ahead.
I think, for one, the power of nostalgia is really strong, and people love hanging on to the songs they love. So new stuff is harder to adjust to. And
well, how about taking a chance?
Exactly.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, no,
adjusting.
Yeah, no, it's hard for
like
people to take a
girlfriend,
chance for some reason.
Whatever,
and that's one, at least working in the music industry. That's what I've seen is there's a lot of people.
You're totally right. People want, but I mean, familiarity, right?
Yeah.
And Al Anderson, who used to bust up and give weed to every band to the Fillmore West or Fillmore East, Bill Graham used to chase him out. I mean, that would be, you'd have Santana, you'd have freaking Iron Butterfly, and you'd have Tiny Tim.
Yeah.
You'd have folk, prog rock, and Latin funk. And it was like Bill's message was, no, you know what? You may not know who these bands are, but you need to dig this shit.
Yeah.
Okay, and like that's what.
Yeah, maybe we need
you're not
someone like that.
Your personality is very different than Bill. Bill was a Holocaust survivor, and you're not a promoter per se, but
no.
But what you're doing is, as a booker, is basically saying, dig this music. And I just my feeling is, so besides nostalgia, what else? Because this is the best. There's no like tickets. Like, there's no tickets for this. And this is top shelf stuff.
Yeah.
So ultimately, for people that are confused and are wondering why we're in this space, what would you encourage them to do to push them out of their comfort zone? How have you pushed yourself out of your comfort zone?
Exposure really is just.
What does that mean?
It means just spending time with the music, taking time out of your day to actually go out and see something you're not familiar with, and then experiencing it, deciding whether or not you like it. And most of the time you'll end up liking it because there's quality, and there's people that pour their heart and souls into this music. And I feel like if people are able to connect with that aspect of music as a whole, as far as like not simply just enjoying it, but also giving back somehow, supporting a musician or a band or something, I think that's one thing that'll help grow the music scene as a whole, and diversify out here. It's just people need to invest a little bit. And
I dig.
Yeah.
I did. And so, final question for you, brother. What is your concept of love? How do you bring love to this world?
Okay.
I mean, you bring a lot of vibrational love, but I guess, you know, to me, it's unconditional.
Yeah.
This is unconditional, and also like Sufi or like mystical, cosmic dance.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's a dance.
No, I think for me, I am not really separate from any other person. We're all in the same experience, you know, we're all sticking it out together, and for me to have an opinion about somebody without even really knowing them is seems it seems worthless. And I think if you
you
come
hear
from a
so
place of
many
love-
people talking about things that they don't have anything, they don't really have a connection with the person, the people they're talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So it's relatability.
yeah, exactly. We're all just on a rock, and if we don't stick together, it's not really going to be a good experience for anybody. And not only that, but just I think just you know, more than anything, it comes from a place of, yeah, like you said, from like sorry, I forgot.
Family.
Yeah, just having that sense of community, of knowing that we really are just.
You know what
There's-
Aria
yeah.
said? I mean, Aria Ratcliffe, who's
Yeah,
going
yeah.
to sing tonight. It took me a minute to like come see her live, but then it was just like, it's like somebody. She said to me the other night, and I'm just a journalist. I'm a rogue journalist. I'm just trying to drive content to inspire people.
Yeah.
And she's like, somebody actually cares. Now, a lot more people care than she knows, but they don't necessarily express it or
Exactly,
invest
yeah.
in it. So it's more about the significance of live, communal, conversational music. When's your next gig, man?
I don't have one lined up quite.
Because you know
yet.
what I mean. Here's the truth about this.
Yeah.
Fabian Rios and I have talked, just text, you know, a couple messages back and forth. I can't wait to see you play, man.
Appreciate you.
All right, man.
Yeah, you'll see me, George, and I play with in George's little.
Jorge Parker.
Jorge Parker. Yeah.
Okay.
George.
Well, now it all
Grant,
makes sense. Now
and
it
Sam,
all
yeah.
makes. Hold on. You're playing in that group.
Yeah.
Let's get that fucking.
Yeah, I
band.
know. We gotta get some dates
Yo,
going,
man.
but
Fabian, man, such an honor to hang
Likewise.
with you, brother. All right.
Yeah.
It's the Jake Feinberg Show. See you later.